Hello one and all, this is Hybridsteel. Thank you very much for joining me in today's Pimp My Plot video. So today we're in a brand new plot, as you can see, big old plot. Now I was talking to the user who apparently built a toilet. Fantastic. Apparently we can get a toilet in the factory now. So this person built this build way back in the days of 1.2. And nothing has really worked properly, nothing really kept itself going. As you can see, I mean, it is fairly old ways of doing things. Apparently there's even there's a way down here as well. Let's have a look. Oh, okay, cool. So he started to try to pile in for a David. Brilliant. And created a chamber where he couldn't get out. A set of stairs would have been the most appreciated, let's put it that way. So, what we'll do is we'll jump out of here. Right, okay, so back to the lot. Right. So, we've got all of this sort of like open space. I think he's been I'm not even sure what he's doing here. I'm going to make this a little bit safer because I don't want to keep falling down a hole. There we go. Okay, so let's patch the hole up. So, he's got this pipe that goes nowhere. He's using a logic pipe here as well. So this is something that comes with the mod box. So what we'll do, we can actually mess around with this as well. I'm going to assume that he's going to want all of this working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to patch up the hole for now so I don't keep falling down things. The reason why is just because, I've got to be honest, I don't really want to fall down stuff. And then we're going to have a proper look around. So he's got all these Goliath drills running, but he was running it off of this water pipe here, which goes through all of this system here, which in turn goes through all of these oh my god. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off all of these roof panels, all of these windows. I know this is going to the plus side is that I know he's using mods, so he can actually just spawn all this back in. I'm going to sort out all of his pipe work because all of this it needs gutting. And like, I'm going to try and keep as much of the original layout of the conveyor belts as possible. But, man, we've got to do some proper removing right now. So that's all of this bit under. So what I can do, I can actually work on this from here, which is good. I'm not sure what this is for. I think it's where he was trying to put all this in and try and swim it all around a bit. Now, okay, I've removed a pipe from up here. I've also removed one of the tanks, which was unfortunate when I was removing things. But it gives me a clearer picture of where everything's sort of going here. There is definitely something we can do here, and definitely something to make this work. Now, I know obviously he's trying to build it so all the water goes one through. So what I want to do is I'm going to try and change this all around. So this is basically the end. Now, this build hasn't been touched since 1.2. How I know this is, number one, I had a conversation with the bloke who actually made it. Number two, if you look at how many sorters there are present on this, this was trying to compete against the problems that some of the sorters actually had back in the early days, when if you put too much through a sorter at any one time, then you would have problems with like the amount that was going through. It would cause spit back. It would cause like this mass amount of stuff being like basically generated and thrown through the sorters, and you wouldn't be able to control it. Okie dokie, chokey cokey monkey. What we're going to do... Oh, hold on, there's a shot there. Okay, so we've cut the system all the way back to this route here. And this route is basically where I'm going to be putting the conveyor belts that are going to be sorting out all the sorters, basically. So what we want to do is we want to put those in first. Right, so this is where I want my sorting plant to be. I've got to change up all of these pipes next. And because there is a lot of piping here that doesn't need to be here anymore, we need to remove all of this as well. So all of these need to be removed off because there's an idea that we can do to make this a little bit better for him. The downside is because because of the space between each round drill, we have to take that into consideration as well. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13 round drills. So that's going to be 13 round drills plus 13 bits of pipe to power them all, so that's 26, plus the bit in the middle, so that's going to be 26, 30. What we're going to do is we're going to run this piping from here, and I'm going to run it straight down underneath all of these, underneath the whole belt system. and then it's going to come up the other end, and that's where I'm going to have all the main power, and each row is going to be powered by its own set of chambers. Okie dokie. Right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to produce a unfortunately one of them is going to have to come back and then loop back into this one here, so that's not necessarily too bad. I think we're working at about 30, I would say there, so that's okay. And then we're going to have a piping running over to here, and that's going to power all those. One pipe running to this, and that's going to power all those. And then the harvesters are going to have their own set of pipes as well. There we go. Right, so that one's going to power into this. Okay, so we've got a centralizer on top and everything. What we need to do is this. Boom, and dirt drills, that basically puts all dirt underneath all of my drills, or at the customer's drills, sorry. Now I'm going to pipe it all up. So piping up here, we're going to need T-pipes. And then we're going to need some straight pipes, and the reason why is because each one of these has to be its own connector, apart from the last one, which uses a corner pipe. And the reason why it's going to use a corner pipe and not anything else is because it's the end of the chain. So back when I first started playing this game, you could probably find the videos as well, I actually started building a little bit like this, where I had like one drill per ramp, and it was like, yeah, it's okay because my builds are fine, they're not breaking, yada yada. And then you start to realize that maybe what you're doing isn't the most efficient way to play this game, and it was like, coming back to this was literally how I used to start the game on 1.2. Trying to make something that just worked was the ideal way of playing this game. Now, this is like I've said in right near the beginning, this is literally how we played in 1.2. If you've bought Hydroneer before, well, after the 1.2 update, which was like, you know, right back in the beginnings, this is how we used to play. And the reason why was because we had to just make things work. It was difficult, and then like certain methods came out, we were able to do this and everything else that we were doing, and it actually worked out. You know, we evolved the way that we played the game because of what we had to do just to get through this. And it was just, it's one of those things, it's nice to be seeing like this, the beginnings again of how it all started. So as we've said before, we needed one full road to actually power up our harvester, our ram drills. As there are 13 ram drills, 13 T-pipes and 13 straight pipes, that was a total of 39 bits of piping. Now I think, you know, you could cut this down by half, but I'd rather have full pressure running through an entire system than like not a lot anywhere. Again, with this bit down here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 10, so 70. By the end that this gets to the end, there's going to be very little pressure in the end of it, and that could cause a problem, but there is a way of working around it. I will try and get into that if we do have a problem with that end, I will figure it out and I'll show you. With the harvesters, again, it's exactly the same as the ram drills. There are 13 of those, plus the extra piping, plus everything, and that equates to another 39, so overkill on this side as well. When it comes to the actual conveyor belt that's running down, we can have full-blown system, and there won't be a single issue with that at all. So having the leak on the end means I did something right. If you turn it off, then it doesn't leak, and you're like, okay, so I've sort of screwed up. I've put everything in reverse, which is a bit of a shame. But that's unfortunately the way it is with this game sometimes. You're like, oh, I've done it right. No, I haven't. Right. This has actually been a really big build. Like, I normally spend this building something. Right, I think we're done. Okay, so everything's working, everything's good, everything's fantastic. Awesome. What I now need to do is I need to put the dirt on the end. So, as you can see, dirt is now spawned under each one of the ram drills. And now we're going to toggle all the ram drills on and then turn them off. So we just need to follow this one bit of dirt to make sure it all goes in properly. That works. Awesome. So there isn't a problem with the dirt finding its way to the harvester, but if you are a little bit scared of this, though, what you can do is build a box around it. Basically, building a box around it works that it's you don't have to worry about it then. So what I did with the other end, and what I'll do is I'll delete all the items. Well, so they're all the ones that I just made. And then we can delete that. We can shut that off as well. So what I mean by is if you want to get your dirt all the way down without any problems, you just build a window box around it like I've done with this one. And you do that for the whole run. but I think because of how fast this thing runs, which isn't amazingly quick, but it helps, it works, it's all good, then I don't have to worry about actually building a box around it all. It does work, and I don't have a problem. Next is to build the catchment area, which is the area where you would sort of like have all your smelters. So we need smelters next. And thankfully, because we've only built, well, we built, actually, we don't need that one there. So with this one, because this is the gemstone one, what I tend to do is I tend to box it up right next to it. And the reason why is because if you put a pan there, it will catch all the gems. Let me say he's got a pan, cool, we need the duplicate. So the pan at the moment is the only way that you can catch gems, but Max has developed a brand new thing that's coming out very soon with version 1.4. If you haven't seen that while before this video, then what's going to happen is there's going to be you can get this new box thing. You push a lever, and all the gems combine into like your one color gem. So if you had like red gems, blue gems, and green gems, then they all become their own bigger gems. So the red ones obviously condense into a big red one, and so on and so forth. But you actually stick it on the end of your gem collection one, and it's all good. I love the idea, and I've played around with it. It's fantastic. So yeah, so what we have done is we have completely bastardized his entire build. First off, we've taken off all the filters and moved all the filters down. We've made one big line. This is your filtered water now, so this is all good. What we're going to do is we're going to just turn on all of the ram drills. Whilst it's working, we're going to explain the build. So all this is now your one pipeline. This is all you need. These 4 crystals power that one conveyor belt. Those four crystals now power all of those harvesters. Those 4 power every single one of your ram drills, and those 4 power every single one of your conveyor belts. Now, as you can see, what we'll do is when we get down the other end, this is the more interesting part. So these belts, even though these are at the end of the line and they're using up about 70 to 80% worth of water pressure just to get to this point, these are not any slower than what is coming through right at the beginning. As you can see, the dirt is coming down in waves because that's how the ram drills work, how the water pressure works in the pipes when it comes to the actual ram drills. Now, if you wanted to condense this build down a bit more, you would stick everything together, but that would be for another build. Personally, the amount of time that I've just spent doing this to make it work and to make it a little bit more streamlined, you would be better off building something new. Don't be afraid of putting like more ram drills on one line, or even Goliaths. And the reason why is because ever since like version 1.3, things don't combine as much when it comes to the conveyor belts, which means dirt particles are actually about the same size, and they won't actually combine on the belt anymore. And I've seen this at first hand. It's been quite good to see. Another thing that I would highly recommend later on, this is to anybody that's building something very similar to this, is that when it comes to the actual builds, don't have a massively long conveyor belt like this if you're only using 13 ram drills. 13 ram drills on a conveyor belt that's like 30 long, it doesn't need to be done. You could actually shorten this, condense it all down and put it all together, and you could have it just running very nicely. But we have made this tidy, we've made this neat, and by God have we taken away half that lag that was probably causing this causing the user a major problem. The reason why is because this is literally a place where it's now just like lag free. All the pipes are streamlined. There's a catchment area. We haven't got a single problem. Now this is running perfectly on mods. Now I'm going to take off all the mods and then we're going to play it on normal and we're going to see if it all works just to bog standard. Fortunately, I screwed up just a little bit. I actually forgot to put funnels on top of all the harvesters. So please don't kick the crap out of me in the comments. It was my mistake. Literally, I tried to record another video to add them in so you didn't see my mistake, but unfortunately I sort of mislaid that video and now it's disappeared into ether. So on top of all the harvesters on your builds, don't forget to put funnels. So dirt funnels into the harvesters and that causes no problems. I hope that helps. Really sorry I didn't include it, but hey, sometimes when you're doing a video for nearly 2 hours like this one was before I cut it down and made it manageable, you do forget things. Back to my video. Okie dokie, so here we are. We are not playing with any mods. As you can see in the top right hand corner, nothing is listed. We're all good. We're all Barney. Right, so we're just going to make sure this is all working. This is without mods. This is working perfectly. It's all good and we shouldn't have a single problem. Apparently see, this is what I like to see when it comes to like doing things without mods. So you get to see where the problems lay in your builds. As you can see, sometimes the hitbox doesn't catch the original harvester. So if you are playing the original game, this is something you have to look out for. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, this has been Hybridsteel. Hit me down in the comment section if you want this build, if you want help with your builds or someone's